Hello, this is Danny from Deep South Homesteads. On one of our videos there was some interest about wanting to see a little bit more about me and Wanda and wanting to know a little bit about our life here. And what I want to do is, I made a comment in one of the videos about when Wanda first met me. She walked into the first room in the house here and tears began to fill up in her eyes. Well, what I want to do is I want to show y'all the room that she walked into, and I want to show you what we use the room for and a little bit about the functioning of this room. So I'm going to take you on in here. I'm going to let Wanda kind of pan around the room first and kind of give you a visual of the room. As you can see, there's a set of French doors going into the kitchen. This room is octagon shaped. It has 4-foot by 6-foot picture windows in it where we can see outside at all times. It has a stepped up octagon shaped ceiling in it with rope lighting around the top so we can accent the mood of any time in the room we need to change it. As she comes down, this first piece of furniture you're looking at here, every year for Wanda, what I do on anniversaries, birthdays, Christmas, whichever holiday it is or event, I usually will build something. And this here is a piece of furniture I built for her coffee pot and coffee tables. This was the top off of an old dresser. The legs were the bed posts on an old bed. I took them off and I put all this stuff together, and I built a drawer system in it where she can put things in a drawer and be able to serve her coffee off of it whenever we have guests over to our home. And as she moves around, you're going to see a table that I built. Now this table here, after Hurricane Katrina blew a lot of the timber down on our property here, we had some big giant poplars that blew down, and I took these poplars and had them sawed up into lumber. They stayed stacked in the top of my barn for years, and then I had a friend to plane them for me, and I came in and I built her a dining table out of them so that it would be a part of our homestead inside our dining room here. And as you move around, there's another piece of furniture here that I built. I had done a job for a lady who had a Hoosier Cabinet in her house. I bought the Hoosier Cabinet from her. It was an antique. Well, when I brought it to my house, I did not really want that old look here because it was really in bad shape. So what I did was took every measurement off of that Hoosier Cabinet and went to my shop, and I built a brand new one that's an identical replica of the old one. You can see here how the doors, we keep some of our stuff in here, some of our old antique stuff. We have the old potato thing. We still use this stuff now. This thing makes our French fries. I mean, this is all working stuff. As you pan down, you'll notice there's an antique set of scales here. We went to a flea market like thing here in the town where we live at. This thing was in really bad shape, so I brought it home. I took it all apart, took every piece out of it, reworked it, repainted it, put it back together so that we could have an accurate set of scales here in our house that's an actual set of antique scales that matches the Hoosier Cabinet. And then you'll also notice we got this right here. These doors open up. We keep some of our other stuff in here, our egg beaters, our potato mashers, and things of that nature. This is a spice rack thing I built for her that turns around on it here to keep her spices in. The actual tabletop on this thing, I'm not going to slide it out, but this tabletop actually slides out on this and actually serves as a serving table also. And you'll notice sitting on the top of it here, there is an assortment of wooden spoons and ladles. I built all these out in the shop, depending on what we're doing. If we're serving gravies or teas or anything, I made all these where we can serve our gravies and stuff out of them. Or if we're deep frying fish or something like that, I made all these just different spoons. We're serving a piece of pie. I made these where you can take it out and serve a piece of pie if you need to. Got those in here, and then I added a few features into the cabinet that wasn't originally in the one that I've done. I fixed a slide out drawer here where we can keep our roasting pans and stuff like that in there, and she can use it if she needs to for other things, if she needs to put a pie in there or whatever. And then come over here, I added several drawers where we keep knives and silverware, stuff like that in them, so that when we get ready to serve people in the dining room here, we can. Now this right here has not been quite finished yet. Let me move this out of the way and set it up here. This is an actual bread drawer in the old-timey Hoosier cabinets. This is going to be a metal box that goes in here that has a sliding lid on the top of it. You can slide the lid back, put your bread in it, and close it back up. Back in the old days, they couldn't keep the rodents out of the house, so they had their bread in a metal steel box to keep insects from being able to get in there to the bread. And I noticed you probably saw this piece of furniture that I had made here. This is a tortilla press I made out of some cherry lumber that we had on the property here after Katrina blew the trees down. I cured them in the top of my barn, and for Wanda I built her a tortilla press. You would put a piece of parchment paper down here, you put your dough and a piece of parchment paper up here, and when you pull this over, you can take this handle. This is an actual replica of what they use in Mexico, and you press this thing down and put pressure on it, and when you get through and you lift it up, you have a perfectly pressed tortilla to use to put in the pan to fry and cook with. That's just another thing that I made here. As she pans around, you'll notice there is another piece of furniture here. I did not build this one, I refinished it. This cabinet, what we use it for is we go to the cellar once a week and we decide what our groceries are going to be, our meals is going to be for that week. And we try to gather up stuff and we bring it up here. We keep an assortment of sweets up here for our toast, stuff like that in the morning. When we make it, we will decide which one we want to use, whether we want to use strawberry figs or applesauce or pear syrup. There's an assortment of blackberry jelly in here, blueberry jelly, just different things. Then we'll decide what kind of sweets she wants to cook that week. We got peaches here where she can make a peach cobbler or whatever she decides, and we have English peas, and then we move down. Sometimes we want snacks at night. We'd rather use a snack off the Homestead, so we have our own canned peanuts. We'll get a jar of peanuts and bring them in there, and in the background there we have dried stuff, like we have some dried blueberries, we have dried peppers, we have dried rutabagas and stuff like we can put in our soups to give them a little bit better taste. And then on the bottom shelf, sometimes we bring in green beans if that's what we want this week, or canned squash to make squash casseroles and dressings out of and stuff. And then we have the regular whole figs that are canned. If we want to make our own fig Newton bars that week, then we'll take a jar of those figs and we'll cook them down and make our own fig Newtons. Or if she wants to make a pear salad, we've got the pears in halves that she can make her own pear salad with. This has just been a little bit of a video of this room. It wasn't like this when she first came here. This room is a multi-purpose room. We use it for a lot of different things depending on the time of the year that you come here as to what this room is used for. If you come here in the summertime, this table is going to be moved over to the side and you're going to see tomatoes and just all kind of different things on the floor in here, peaches and different things, sitting here waiting for us to can them, or someone to come buy them from us, whichever way it works. Once we get through canning what we want to can, we'll sell the rest of them. If you come here during the holiday seasons, this room is going to be decorated out, and it's going to be used for nice family meals. And up in the ceiling, I don't know if she can pick up in the ceiling up there, you notice there's a speaker system in the ceiling. This house has a stereo system in it to where we can play music in any one particular room in the house depending on what we want to do at the time, whether it's a holiday season or whether she wants to sit in the whirlpool and just listen to music. She can play music and listen to it over in the bathroom. This time of the year, you'll notice in here we have our seed potatoes over here are drying and curing, getting ready to plant. So like I said, it depends on what time of the year. It's winter time. You'll notice that we have our pineapple plants in here. They can't stay out in the cold, so we leave our pineapple plants in here as they're growing up to make the pineapples. Our canning stuff, our dehydrators will be sitting over here in the corner. We use that kind of stuff this time of the year also. Just want to throw out there a few things on how you can turn your house into rooms into your house as multi-purpose rooms. This room serves as many different functions. If you've enjoyed the video today, I would appreciate it if you'd like, share, and subscribe it. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.